Police are en route. Unresponsive female is breathing.
30M23, be advised we've got a large crowd out here in the street.
Hey, we should have all the family members that were here on the front porch.
Well, what time did we get this call?
Came in at 22:44.
If one patient en route to UAV by Rescue 11 with additional medic. Only command terminated.
Out to UAV with additional medic. Command terminated.
All units be advised who are doing traffic on Nunley, unless they have on their ID that address for that street, do not let them through for 13.
When Carlee Russell walked up to her parents' 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 3,435 square foot home worth $691,000 in Hoover, Alabama on Saturday night after 10 p.m., I can only imagine the praising God that happened and confusion. The 4-year-old home, it's beautiful, sits a 3.4-mile drive away from the location off of I-459 where Carlee disappeared on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. It would take a person 2 hours and 24 minutes to walk that distance from her parents' home to the spot where she allegedly saw a toddler. Now, with cops calling 25-year-old Carlee an unresponsive female who was breathing,
Police are en route. Unresponsive female is breathing.
it is confirmed that's what the dispatch said. Reportedly, she was in shock. I can also picture a bunch of confusion and worry coming from Carlee's loved ones over her condition. Today is Monday, July 17th. 2023, and much of the world is elated at this happy ending for Carlee. At least Carlee is alive, thank God. But people are also confused and curious, and many of us want to know, where was Carlee during the 48 hours she went missing? Is there an abductor on the loose? Was there really a white toddler boy wearing a diaper and a white t-shirt ever on the side of the road? As you're about to hear in the official police dispatch audio from that night, was this all a hoax? Was it a mental breakdown? Was it some type of psychotic episode? Were edibles and hallucinations involved? You're about to hear so much of the police dispatch audio that I culled from listening to hours and hours for all the tidbits I can find about this mysterious case. This weekend, I listened to so much audio. And I'm asking, did Carlee Russell pull a fake kidnapping hoax like Sherry Papini? She's the 42-year-old woman out of Redding, California, who pled guilty recently to making one count of false statements to the FBI agents about her alleged abduction by Hispanic females that turned out to be fake? Or is Carlee more like the couple out of Vallejo, California, Denise Huskins and Anthony Quinn, who experienced a real-life home invasion and kidnapping, but police did not believe them, so maybe Hoover is trying to walk it back and be careful. Let's take a deep dive into what we know as of today. There's been so many ups and downs, still unanswered questions, but 25-year-old Carlee Russell has been found alive. On Sunday, July 16th, 2023, at 8:30 a.m., the Hoover, Alabama Police Department posted the following message on Facebook. Carlee Russell located. Missing person Carlee Russell has been located. At 10:45 p.m., the Hoover 911 Center received a call that Carlee had returned home to her residence.
Hi, welcome to Bunkhouse. My name is Carlee. I'm so pleased to serve you guys tonight.
Police responded to the scene to investigate this latest development in the case. Hoover paramedics responded to the scene to assess Carlee and transported her to a local hospital for evaluation. Additional information will be provided when it becomes available. Many people are hoping the cops will do a new press conference. Will there be an arrest of an abductor or arrests for false reporting? Carlee Russell drew the attention of the world when she was reported missing Thursday night after she called 911 to say she saw a toddler walking on the side of I-459. And then shockingly, Carlee shows up on foot at her family's front door Saturday night, according to Nicholas Durzis. He's the Hoover police chief. He said he was not sure how Carlee got there. Quote, she walked up and banged on the door, and that was her. Some other reports or rumors or something claimed Carlee was dropped off at home. So I don't know where that came from, but I'll go with what the police chief is saying. that Carlee walked up to her parents' beautiful front door and banged on it. Meanwhile, Carlee's boyfriend has spoken out to defend Carlee and himself against accusations and lies.
Check out the mix.
Tomar Latree Simmons posted on his TSims28 Instagram account on Sunday, July 16th. He wrote, "I don't even know how to start off this post, but to only say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for saving my girlfriend's life. Also, thank you to everyone who shared a picture, came out to the Hoover Met to help us with the search parties, and who went and proceeded to tell other people about Carlee to bring more awareness to her story." He wrote, "I have been going non-stop since I received the call that she was missing Thursday night." He said, "I know she would have done the same for me, so I wasn't going to give up until I saw her face again." Tomar wrote, "I was straight tunnel vision. Even when I would get on my social media on my downtime and see some of the false allegations and assumptions about me having something to do with her abduction would have me discouraged at times, but I didn't give up and kept my faith." Tomar wrote, "I just want to thank all of my family, friends, former teammates, and church members who called or texted me just to let me know that they are praying and here for me. You guys don't know how much that meant to me. All I asked from everyone right now is to be respectful of Carlee's situation." This is the part where everyone's really quoting him. He wrote, "She was literally fighting for her life for 48 hours. So until she's physically and mentally stable again, she is not able to give any updates or whereabouts on her kidnapper at this very moment." So some people are big side eye there. You know, Birmingham wants to know. I see them on Reddit everywhere. They want to know in the surrounding area, are we safe? Is there an abductor out there? Anyway, he said, "I also want to thank the people on social media who has been understanding and respectful about what she's been through in these past few days. Once again, I can't thank you guys enough for helping us bring Carlee home. God bless you all. Heart. Hashtag Carlee found. Hashtag Carlee Russell." So the big question is, where was Carlee during the 48 hours she went missing? Chief Dersey said, "We work with facts." Quote, "With social media, you got so many people that think they know what's taken place. Right now, we're just very pleased that she's home. I'm sure everyone is. Her family is and everything. But we're trying to gather facts too and read between the lines." So now let's listen to the police dispatch audio from the time the case started on Thursday night when Carlee called 911 at around 9:35 p.m. to claim she saw a child missing, a child running right there on the side of the road. Now, many people want to hear that 911 call that Carlee Russell made on July 13th, 2023 to report seeing this toddler on the side of the Alabama highway. Well, I requested that 911 call. On Friday, July 14th, 2023, I emailed the public information officer in Hoover, Alabama. I emailed him the following request, trying to get that 911 call. This was when Carlee was still missing. We were trying to dig for every clue. So I wrote about Carlee calling Hoover 911 Center, Carlee Nicole Russell that night. I wrote, "This is a formal public records request for the audio of that 911 call. Please send the audio in reply to this email or provide a link to download it." So he did reply pretty quickly. He wrote back, "Good afternoon. I have forwarded your request to our city attorney for review. To help expedite this process, can you give me some background on your organization, Plunder LLC?" So he's wondering, okay, who are you making this FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request? And I wrote back, "Will do, thank you." I told him I'm a true crime content creator. I gave him the link to my YouTube channel. I wrote to him that I'm hoping that with the public hearing the 911 call, they might be able to pick up on anything that can help find Carlee. Take care. So I haven't heard back from him. I haven't heard from the city attorney. To me, it was important if we had that 911 call at that point. I was thinking, was Carlee still in her car? Maybe people could hear things that the cops didn't. Will the 911 call ever be released? Would it have helped or hurt the case to release it when Carlee was still missing? Did cops know something at that point? Let's listen right now to how it all started per police dispatch on July 13th, 2023.
459 South, mile marker 10. It's going to be a child walking on the 3 or 4 year old child walking on the side of the interstate next to her. RP's going to be close by in a red Mercedes sedan with the hazards on. Child's going to be a white male wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper.
Okay, so it all started on the police dispatch with, you hear them saying 49 South, mile marker 10, gonna be a child, 3 or 4 year old child walking on the side of the interstate next to the, and then he says the reporting party's going to be close by in a red Mercedes sedan with the hazards on. So we know we've seen Carlee's red Mercedes car. We've seen the video of her driving along the shoulder with her hazards on. The cop said child's going to be a white male wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper. So I'm wondering if this is a hoax. That's a big if, but was it deemed a white child so it would get a lot of attention?
442. RP's advising there's no cars in the area. Looks like the child's been abandoned on the side of the road.
Reporting party is advising there's no cars in the area. Looks like the child's been abandoned on the side of the road.
442. You're actually going to have to access from 31. They're going to be plotting just before the exit. 441, can I get you to head that way?
And he starts talking about you're actually going to have access, I guess, from 31. I've looked at a lot of maps. I'm trying to figure out what they're saying. Gonna be probably just before the exit. Cops are trying to pin down where exactly is Carlee, where is she in relation on this highway? Can I get you to head that way?
For when you still got him on the phone.
Negative, but she's said that she would stand by for police.
42, call the RP back. She's not at their vehicle.
10-4.
Then another cop is asking, you still got him on the phone? And the other cop says negative, but she said that she would stand by for police. Some folks are asking why did, she hang up with police, but that's plausible. She would hang up and say, I'm right here with the child. So call the reporting party back. She's not at her vehicle, the cop says when he gets there.
CLA, red in color to Carlee Russell out of Birmingham, 10-11. 10-4, we're not getting the female to answer.
42, are there any numbers associated with the 28?
10-4, that's the RP. We're trying to call her back. She's not answering.
CLA, I believe they're saying red in color, and they say it's to a Nicole Russell out of Birmingham. So at that point, they knew whose car it was. They're calling her, and they're saying, we're not getting the female to answer. Is there any other numbers associated with this vehicle registration? That's the reporting party, he says. But the cop is like, we're trying to call her back. She's not answering.
I'm around the interstate as well. Can you give me a description on the child and were they southbound, walking southbound?
10-4, southbound, walking southbound. It was a toddler, 3 or 4 year old, wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper. RP arrived in a red Mercedes, and on what the RP's description is going to be.
They're en route to the interstate as well, so they know already, okay, something isn't right here. She's reporting a toddler. That would perk anyone's ears up, the danger of a toddler being on the side of the interstate. Can you give me a description of the child? Were they southbound, walking southbound? And yes, it was affirmative. The cop is saying southbound, walking southbound. It was a toddler, 3 or 4 years old. So people who've seen the video, they're like, how could Carlee see? Maybe her headlights flashed on a toddler. Maybe she was the only one who saw it and called it in. Wearing a white t-shirt and a diaper, reporting party arrived in a Mercedes. Now they're asking, what's the reporting party's description going to be? They don't even know who they're looking for.
42, just be advised, her vehicle is unlocked, running. All her personal belongings except for her phone.
13, if we can we start you in the Atkins tram area? Just see if this child might have wandered from a house over there.
The vehicle, the RP had just saw the child walking on the side of the interstate and had gotten out with it. when she had disconnected.
Just be advised her vehicle's unlocked, running, all her personal belongings except for her phone. So immediately they're like, where is she? Her car's still running. And the video, you can see her door open. If we can we start a unit back to this trim area? So along there's houses, beautiful houses back there. It's called Trim Lane. Just see if this child might have wandered back from a house over there. So cops are on it immediately. They're checking those beautiful homes back there to see if a kid, somehow got out of his home and is in the road somewhere. The vehicle, the reporting party had just saw the child walking on the side of the interstate and had gotten out with it when she had disconnected. That's what they say, and there's an echo. It's hard to hear certain things.
941. Do you have anybody free?
10-4, 32, can you have that way?
We're good up here. You may want to send him to Nunley Pass and see if they can make contact with somebody there. See if we can find her.
Yes, I believe we located her at the Trim Lane. Got a call about a female screaming with a child.
So another cop is asking, can you head that way? The guy says, nah, we're good up here. You might want to send him to Nunley Pass and see if they can make contact with someone there. So they already know where Carlee lives. Let's get a hold of her family. Let's figure out where Carlee is. See if we can find her, he said. Units, I believe we located her at Atkins Trim Lane. So I don't know why that was said. Got a call about a female screaming with a child. So this must be Carlee's sister-in-law's call. So I'm not sure where the Atkins Trim Lane stuff came from.
32, do you have an address?
It's going to be Atkins Trim Lane and Atkins Trim Boulevard, 10441. Be advised, the female screaming, line disconnected. We're out in the brown and black Ford F-150. She was on the phone with her daughter when it occurred.
Where exactly is this call coming from?
The call's pinging in that location. 511, do you want us to start seeing if we can get her phone number pinged?
13, that's simple. Let's start pinging that phone.
Hey, check that little line. See if you see her. 10-4.
Do you have an address? Atkins Trim Lane and Atkins Trim Boulevard. Not sure if that's where her sister-in-law is. Be advised, the female screamed, the line disconnected. He starts to describe a brown and black Ford F-150. She was on the phone with her daughter when it occurred. So not sure if that's the truck her mom drives or something. So the cop says, where exactly is this call coming from? The call's pinging in that location, he said. You want us to start seeing if we can get her phone number pinged? Yeah, the other cop is like, start pinging that phone. And they say something about check that blue line or something, see if you can see her.
441, we're going to be at Atkins Trim Lane, checking the backyard.
So I redacted this address, but they start talking about we're going to be at this specific house on Atkins Trim Lane.
If you would, any incoming personnel, just start 64 in the area. We're good down here.
Also be advised, we're about to get T-Mobile to ping the phone.
I'm not sure if y'all have this info already, but apparently there's a sister that was on the phone with her and still has an open line with her phone and can hear vehicles as if it's like on the side of the interstate or something.
Atkins Trim Lane that called this call in right here. Family that we're out with right down here. The second updated call that we got in reference. The first call we got was from her. Second call we got was from the family.
Right. I'm just saying that the sister apparently has an open line with that phone still that she called from and can hear vehicles like it's still sitting on the side of the interstate.
The cops are already checking the backyard, getting help. If you would, any incoming personnel, just start 64ing the area. I look up these police codes and try and figure out, but it sounds like just start scoping out the area. We're good down here. Also, be advised, we're about to get T-Mobile to ping the phone. Another cop says, I'm not sure if y'all already have this info, but apparently there's a sister that was on the phone with her and still has an open line with her phone and can hear vehicles as if it's like on the side of the interstate or something. Atkins Trim Lane. That called this call in right here, the cop says, as if he's talking to someone else, but he still has his radio open. Family lives right down here. The second updated call that we got, he's explaining the first call we got was from her, Carlee. The second call we got was from the family. Right. So the cop is saying, yeah, maybe I understand that, but I'm just saying that the sister apparently has an open line with that phone still that she called from and can hear vehicles like it's still sitting on the side of the interstate. So he's giving him clues. Maybe you can find this phone somewhere. Ultimately, the cop is going to find the phone, and it's strange. He's going to say he found her phone 1.5 miles away from exit 1.
I have all of the units 10-6. 511, you want me to have McGinnis en route with a drone?
Simple. That would be great. If you get any calls of 45 flashlights in the backyard on Sulphur Springs, 42, is that you flashing your light at us?
14, we got any more pings? Is it still stationary at the same spot? We're still waiting on our second ping.
They're asking, can I have all of the units 10-6? Busy, unless urgent, busy, so they were immediately getting all their resources on this case. Do you want me to have McGinnis en route with the drone, he asked. 10-4, that'd be great. So they're trying to get drones up. It's dark at night. They're trying to find Carlee, and I'm wondering how she got away from her car so quickly and if she had help. The cop said, if you get any calls about 4 to 5 flashlights in the backyard of Sulphur Springs, it's us. So you can see Sulphur Springs around that same area. Is that you flashing your light at us? So they're there, they're getting together, and the cops are like, don't worry if you see all these flashlights. We got any more pings? Is it still stationary in the same spot? We're still waiting on our second ping. So they're still pinging Carlee's phone so they can find her phone at least. Is the drone already en route?
Is the drone already en route? Have y'all talked to him already?
10-4, he's en route.
42, I just found her phone.
42 is your 20.
42. 1.5 miles away from exit 1.
They want to get that drone up. Have y'all talked to him already? He's en route, so they're getting that drone there. The cop comes on later and says, I just found her phone. What's your 20? He asks, what's your location? 1.5 miles away from exit 1. That's why I'm wondering, did he really mean exit 1 or did he mean exit 10? Exit 1 appears pretty far away. And so I'm asking, I thought Carlee's mom said her phone was found near her car. So if that's correct, how did Carlee's phone get so far away so quickly? Cops responded in 5 minutes. We're going to learn that from their updated statement. And how did Carlee elude cops so quickly? Was she really abducted and taken away in a car by a stranger, by someone she knew? Was she snatched off in the woods? Was she taken by someone she didn't know? Was she stumbling around in the woods and cops just didn't see her where she was?
Have you put out this bolos to surrounding?
Negative. We're about to put it out.
10-4, go ahead and put it out. May want to just go ahead and make it statewide, just in case.
Can we get a description on what she had on?
Yeah, I'll beat you.
We have a unit available. Can we just go ahead and have one ride down 49 South down to the best way, checking the shoulder?
I'll take care of that.
So they're asking, have you put out this bolo? Be on the lookout to surrounding? Negative. We're about to put it out. 10-4, go ahead and put it out. So these cops again are on it. They're putting out a be on the lookout, a bolo. They want to put it out to surrounding entities to know she's missing. May want to just go ahead and just make it statewide, they say, just in case. Can we get a description of what she had on? Yeah, I'll text you, it sounds like he says. We have a unit available. Can we just go ahead and have one ride down, sounds like he says 49 South, down to somewhere. Help me out if you guys know what he's saying. Just checking the shoulder. Another cop says, I'll take care of that. So this is where I wonder, who was that light complected male supposedly seen in a gray car? Did that person take Carlee?
432, do we have any history with the phone number or the RP?
I was checking. Showing 61, the female was involved in over the argument between two subjects not wearing a mask back in 2020. And an accident in 2022. That's all we have so far.
This is where they start asking, do we have any history with the phone number with this reporting person? We're checking. This reporting party, they're trying to get into Carlee's history. They're showing a 61 where the female was involved in over an argument between two subjects not wearing a mask back in 2020. Not sure if that happened at Carlee's job or something. A 61, maybe that's an altercation, I don't know. And she had an accident back in 2022. Maybe that's why on Twitter she talks about being in pain so much and having surgery. But that's all we have for now, they said, about Carlee's history.
The right side? I'm still working on it. I'm slow rolling the entire right shoulder.
10-4, I'm going to come behind you on the left side then.
268, I'm en route to City Hall to get the drone, unless someone beats me there to it. I've got a couple of pictures of this female that I sent out to the two shifts. Can I send it to you so y'all can send it out?
10-4, we've received it. Statewide Bolo, do you want to stand there and missing?
Hold up on that for 1 second.
511 also be advised. Star 1 is advised us they're unable to fly.
10-4. They're going to send out at least one of their drones to assist with ours. I just got off the phone with them.
They say something about the right side, and a cop says, I'm still working on it. I'm still slow rolling the entire right shoulder. So another cop says, I'm going to come behind you on the left side then. I think they say something about being en route to City Hall to get the drone unless someone beats me there to it. I've got a couple of pictures of this female that I've sent out to the two shifts. Can I send it to you so y'all can send it out? 10-4, we've received it. So they're trying to figure out, should we send out this statewide bolo, something about her being missing. One cop says, hold up on that for 1 second. So I'm wondering, in the 5 minutes it took Carlee to hang up with 911 to her cops responding, what happened in those 5 minutes? Was it pre-planned? Someone came and took her away? Was she abducted? Also be advised, Star 1 has advised they are unable to fly. The dispatch says they're going to send out at least one of their drones to assist with ours. So they had at least 2 drones up, I believe, around this point. This is getting later into the night. I just got off the phone with them.
This victim's brother, we're talking to him. We're going to get him to a safer place. We're directly in front of the mile marker 11.4. 11.4. We're right at that mile marker.
511, I need a unit to come meet with me over here so we can escort these parents to meet with a detective.
And they start talking about this is the victim's brother, and he did put out a TikTok video. I think I'll put it here.
My sister, Carlee Russell, is missing. My sister was traveling on I-459 after leaving work here in Hoover, Alabama. She spotted a toddler and she stopped to render aid as any decent human being with a heart would do. She contacted 911 as she's been taught, and then she spoke with another one of our family members. My family member hears a scream, and then my sister vanishes along with that toddler. Her car and belongings were all left at the scene. We have no idea where she is. This story is not getting the national coverage that it should, and we all know why, but you can help. Like, share, comment. My sister has been missing since July the 13th. There's a $25,000 reward for information that leads to the safe return of my sister, Carlee Russell. You can also contact 205-401-3365 if you have any information that can help. Again, my sister, our sister, deserves to be returned home safely. If you are a believer, you understand that we all are brothers and sisters in Christ. I hurt, she hurts, we all should hurt, and we all should help. Like, share, comment, so that we can get our sister, Carlee Russell, back.
And he's, calling for attention to Carlee. We're talking to him, cops said. We're going to get him to a safe or secondary place or something like that. We're directly in front of the mile marker 11.4, right at that mile marker. At this point, I believe Carlee's family is showing up. I believe her brother was there, and here comes the parents. It says, I need a unit to come meet with me over here so we can escort these parents to meet with a detective. This is the situation Thursday night when Hoover police said Carlee pulled over on I-459 South near mile marker 10 or 11, somewhere in there, to check on this toddler. However, if you've seen the video footage, it's hard to distinguish exactly what is going on that night. Some people claim they can make out all sorts of fights going on. I don't ever see a toddler in any of this footage, and you just see a car with hazards driving slowly on the shoulder. You see different lights being reflected or refracted back. So it's kind of hard to tell what's happening. There can be shadows and stuff where people, and there's a confirmation bias where you tell your brain what you're going to see. So some people see, I see her open the door, I see someone pull her out, I see someone fighting. But the video does show the driver's side door open of a vehicle that is presumed to belong to Carlee Russell. That's about all I can make out, and a person around the vehicle, but that's it. But when Hoover police got there, they found Carlee's phone, her wig, her hat, her Apple Watch, her car, but no Carlee and no toddler. And they received no reports of a missing child. So according to Carlee's mom, Talitha Russell, at some point Carlee got out of the car, and my daughter-in-law could hear her asking the child if they were okay. Something that just tripped me out, that people notice everything, especially on TikTok. The interview, one of them with Carlee's parents, at one point it looks like Carlee's mom does that to her dad. But anyway, she said the child did not respond, or at least she didn't hear the child respond over the line. And then she heard our daughter, Carlee, scream, and from there on, all we could hear was noise, background noise in her phone, which we later found out was noise from the interstate. So there's been so many resources put on this case. Dozens of volunteers, along with local and federal law enforcement, searched for Russell during the 48 hours she was missing. Yeah, in fact, some people are so angry, taxpayers, and they're like, if this was a hoax, and that's a big if, some people are calling her Carlee Smollett, like Juicy, just Jessie, Juicy Smollett. I think of Dave Chappelle's routine. Actually, the chief said there were 50 to 60 Hoover police officers working it. They were getting overwhelmed, and the story just keeps getting bigger and bigger. We were out until almost 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, following leads and a lot of work from not only our folks, but from other agencies. Chief Durzis said that Hoover investigators will eventually sit down with Carlee to learn what happened, and of course they have to. I could go either way. My mind honestly is leaning towards a hoax, but I never want to victim shame or blame, and the advocates are out there like, don't call her a liar, because we just don't know. At this point it could go either way. But the chief said the first thing is to give Carlee and family a little time to get themselves back together. I know it's been a tough experience for them. When we think it's time to sit down and have a conversation with Carlee and try to get some facts, we will do that. And if any of you guys followed the Sherry Papini case like I did, we see how much time it took to uncover Sherry's hoax. Even her own husband believed she was truly kidnapped, and the lengths that Sherry went to harm herself and to lose weight and to appear as if she had been kidnapped for 3 weeks. We don't know if this is Carlee's situation though. The chief is happy that Carlee is safe. Just know that the police department is very happy, he said. He said, we wanted her to come home safe and sound, and we'll hope that that's what happened here. The investigation portion we'll get to, but to me the main deal is making sure that she got home safe with her family, and I couldn't be more excited, and I hope the community feels the same way. So I don't know, there's so much confusion about the Red Roof Inn. I don't know what that little nudge was of Carlee's mom against her dad. Yeah, people say we read into a lot of things, but body language is very important in these cases. Meanwhile, on Saturday, July 15th, 2023, there seemed to be maybe some big false alarms. Maybe it was related when we all heard on the police scanner coming up that Carlee had called her family telling them she was at the Red Roof Inn. So I'm like, who called? If that wasn't Carlee, some people just write fake, and even the family, but we don't know what portion was allegedly fake. Let's listen to that Carlee Russell Red Roof Inn police dispatch audio from the Hoover and Vestavia Hills Police and Fire Feed Archives.
754 unclassified complaint, 1466 Montgomery Highway at the Red Roof Inn, the front office. Per caller, family members at this location saying they received a call from the female that's missing, Carlee Russell. 754 family members are saying they received a call from the female saying she was at this location.
754 and out. The Red Roof.
1852.
26 of the responding units. I just spoke with the front desk clerk. They said that the family is not being hostile or anything like that, but that there was about 6 carloads of people that have just shown up over there.
5-4 copy. Did the front desk have anybody checked in under that name?
Negative, and according to the front desk, the message that the family got did not state which Red Roof Inn. They don't know if it's going to be Vestavia or another location.
Okay, thank you.
5-2 and 5844 are on scene at Red Roof.
760 on scene at Red Roof.
Eventually, the message that the family got from Carlee or whomever was that she was at a Red Roof Inn, but we don't know which one. Although cops and apparently family, 6 carloads of them maybe, showed up at the Red Roof Inn, Birmingham South, at 1466 Montgomery Highway in Birmingham, Alabama. So per caller, family members at this location saying they received a call from a female that is missing, Carlee Russell. Family members are saying they received a call from the female saying she's at this location, this Red Roof Inn, but they don't know which one. The cops went on to say just spoke with the front desk clerk. They said that the family's not being hostile or anything like that, but they said there's like 6 carloads of people. Did the front desk have anybody check in under that name? A cop asked. The message that the family got did not state which Red Roof Inn, and there was no one checked in under Carlee's name. So now, in the most recent update from the Hoover, Alabama Police Department, posted on Facebook at 3:46 p.m. on Sunday, July 16th, 2023, more questions arose as people tried to read between the lines of what cops are trying to tell us. Update on missing person Carlee Russell, they wrote. The Hoover Police Department is releasing additional information on the safe return of Carlee Russell. Since the time of the 911 call at 9:34 p.m. on July 13th, 2023, the Hoover Police Department has expended every available resource into locating Carlee, and we celebrate with the Russell family on her safe return at approximately 10:44 p.m. on July 15th. Yeah, I mean, where did she come walking from? And apparently she was dazed, and that's the unresponsive. It doesn't mean unconscious. That's the unresponsive. The following information are facts we have been able to determine at this point in the investigation. We are still gathering and evaluating evidence in this case. Yes, it takes time to pull footage and corroborate her story or disprove it and everything, so I see they have to go through a lot, like the Sherry Papini case. Carlee left work from a business at the Summit in Birmingham at approximately 8:20 p.m. She ordered food from a nearby business at the Colonnade and traveled there. We have worked, cops said, to retrace all of her actions from the time she left the Colonnade until she called 911 and are well on our way to completing that task. This is the stuff, I know it takes time. At this point in the investigation, we have not been able to locate anyone with Carlee from the time she left the Colonnade until the 911 call was made. Carlee communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. So I guess she was talking to maybe different people, but she called 911 and then allegedly her sister-in-law or her brother's girlfriend, whoever this woman is, after that, I believe. The conversation with the 911 operator ended and Carlee called a relative. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. after telling both the 911 operator and the relative she had seen a male toddler in a diaper on the side of I-459 and was stopping to check on him. There's just too many improbable things here. You know, a toddler walking right on the side of the highway, not in traffic. She's the only one that sees him. She's the only one that calls. Traffic camera footage was obtained which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage is still being analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call to accurately determine the time frame. They might have people enhancing it. I'll try and enhance it and lighten it here to see what you can see. Carlee's 911 call remains the only timely report of a child on the interstate. So do they mean only within this time frame she's the only one who called and saw this toddler? Hoover police officers arrived on scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly behind. They located Carlee's wig, cell phone, and purse on the roadway near her vehicle and Carlee's Apple Watch was in her purse. So did she, take all that off? The timing is just what gets me. Who would have time to abduct someone so quickly? Investigators with the Crimes Against Persons unit were notified, and the investigation immediately began in earnest with numerous leads being followed. Many local, state, and federal agencies immediately offered assistance and provided personnel and other resources to the investigation. No stone was left unturned, and the investigation continued throughout the weekend. I'm sure people lost sleep. Some people are complaining about getting poison ivy. Some people are really angry on either side, whether they believe it's a hoax or not. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center received a call from Carlee's residence that she had returned home on foot. So people are wondering, is this schizophrenia? Was she high? Did something happen? Hoover Police and Fire responded to the residence where Carlee was located. She was immediately transported by the Hoover Fire Department to UAB Hospital to be evaluated and was treated and released. So if she was treated and released so quickly, that's another red flag in my mind. Detectives responded to the residence and to UAB to take an initial statement from Carlee. The details of that statement are part of the ongoing investigation, which is expected to continue over the next few days. So I hope they're able to get something out to us over this week or something, quell people's fears, and just let us know what's happening. During the initial portion of the investigation, detectives were able to retrace nearly all of Carlee's steps until the point she went missing, and are confident that will continue to be the case. So they can trace all her steps up to the point she went missing, and they know when she showed up at her parents' house, but what's going to happen to that 48 hours in between? The Hoover Police Department continues to be extremely grateful for the outpouring of support from the Hoover community and beyond, and all the assistance provided by our law enforcement partners, which are too numerous to name. We rejoice with the Russell family as they continue to rest and recover from this situation, and ask for their wishes to be respected regarding their privacy. Indeed, we know people, they want the help when the person's missing, and then thank God she comes home alive. And then of course they want their privacy no matter what happened. This release contains all the information the Hoover Police Department is able to release at this time. As we continue to investigate, we will release information that is determined to be factual and pertinent to the public. When a press conference is scheduled, we will provide advance notice of the date, time, and location. Hopefully the presser comes soon. Hoover PD #. And if you followed the Sherry Papini case, initially she didn't even want to talk with cops. She only wanted to talk with her husband, and that was Sherry's ploy. Colossians 2:9-10. For in Christ all the fullness of the deity lives in bodily form, and in Christ you have been brought to fullness. He is the head over every power and authority. I like that. There are a lot of believers in this case, and the truth will come out. If it turns out to be a hoax, believe me. If it's not, I will get on here and apologize. I'm one to wait for facts. These are all the facts we have today, and it's confusing, and that's why I pulled police audio. I listened to it for hours and hours to get what they are exactly speaking of. So we're not going off of rumors. Right now on Facebook and everywhere, there's so many rumors. Some people are claiming Carlee's boyfriend broke up with her or something, and she just wanted attention, or there's so many rumors out there, we don't know what's what. But with the Sherry Papini case, she was lying. She admitted to lying, but it took so many years to figure out she was lying. Those of us who had our doubts from the beginning, if you express a doubt with a story that doesn't look plausible, then it's like they want to tar and feather you, and it's like you're victim blaming and shaming. So I don't want to do that. I just want to say what looks plausible and possible and what doesn't. With Sherry Papini, she acted like, oh no, cops were part of the kidnapping of me or involved somehow, so I'm not going to talk to you cops, and that was her way of getting away with not making a statement initially. She just spoke to her husband. She finally later, talked to cops, and once those interviews came out and that body cam footage and everything, you could see the red flags there. Eventually, Sherry pled guilty, and I still don't know why she did it, but she pled guilty to faking a kidnapping. I don't know if that's Carlee's case. It might go the way of the Vallejo, California couple. They had a break-in, they were kidnapped, and the police went too far in that case. The police publicly were stating to us how police had their doubts that it was even a real kidnapping. So of course us and the public started believing, wow, it might not have been a real kidnapping. So the police in Hoover don't want to make that mistake, but at the same time, Right now, you know they're gathering so much evidence. It could be so many things. Carlee could be telling the truth. Maybe she really did see a baby, a toddler on the side of the highway. You know, I think that's unlikely, but maybe she did. Maybe she hallucinated it. Maybe some people say schizophrenia might kick in for some people when they're around 25. There may have been substances involved. We know, just from reading her tweets, she was in a bad way over past months. You know, just the subliminals, you can tell when someone's going through something. She had some type of surgery, so there were issues. I don't know if she did need attention. I don't know if she thought this would be a good ploy. Let me pretend to be kidnapped, and maybe that way my boyfriend's love for me will come out. Who knows? This is all speculation. And again, if I find out through facts, if the police come out and say she really was kidnapped, I will be the first one to jump on here and apologize. In advance, I'll apologize, because the last thing I want to do is victim shame or blame, but it's looking just really wonky. The hinky meter is going up. Too many improbable things. A toddler knowing to stay on the side, the shoulder, only Carlee calling him in. It wasn't a desolate highway. You could see how much traffic was going through there at that time. You know, the fact that she was driving along. When did she actually see him? Did she see him, pass him, get off the highway, come back, and then slow roll to try and find him again? The fact that she hung up with 911, she called her family member, whomever, sister-in-law, and just so happened that, you know, her sister-in-law heard the scream and the line go like that. Was it designed for someone to be on the phone with her when it was the scream and the phone drops, and this person had all this time to take off her wig and her hat and her Apple Watch and her purse and everything and take her where? And that's my big question. How did she get away from that location? Was someone somewhere designed to pick her up, or did someone really take her off somewhere within 5 minutes? There was no child ever reported missing. It's too many red flags. I think this will likely come out as a hoax, and maybe people don't realize. I mean, it's one thing, it can go either way. If a person's in mental distress and maybe she really thought she saw a toddler and she was in a psychotic state, that's a whole nother thing, versus if it were a Sherry Papini situation where it was plotted and planned and a lot of lies, a lot of resources, and that's why Sherry caught those charges. So what will it be here? We have to wait and see. Cops know a lot more than what they're saying. That's probably why they didn't release that 911 call. We'll see when we hear it. We'll see what they find. Either way, I'm glad Carlee's okay. No matter what happened, I pray and hope she can get the help she needs. If it really was a hoax, unfortunately, maybe people don't realize there are charges that can come with false reporting. I mean, I don't know. We have to just leave it up to God. Thank God she's okay. And I am in no way saying any of her family or boyfriend or anyone was involved. If it turns out to be a hoax, I'm not calling anyone, I'm not implicating anyone, and everyone's innocent until proven guilty. And it is sad if it does turn out to be a ploy. I can't imagine a person doing that to their family or their loved ones, putting them through so much pain. All we can do now is wait and see what cops tell us. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for updates.